Obviously, there are things that go without saying, Guti. The game should have been won much earlier, much easier. We could have done much better. We could have prevented going to extra time. And we'll talk about all those things, the good, the bad, and all that stuff. But can I just say, we must talk about Happy Mashiane. We must really have an honest conversation in a positive way about Happy Mashiane. Because yes, Ungezana ended up getting a man of the match. But I personally think the person who won the match for Chiefs is Happy Mashiane. We were talking at halftime when we had a show, for those of you who were not watching, Uguti, Chiefs were getting into dangerous areas, but they were not making the dangerous passes into the box. And the moment Mashiane came in, then we started seeing more quality passes or quality crosses going into the box. I'm not encouraging Guti Chiefs should play crosses into the box, but I am saying, Guti, if you are going to play the ball into the box, then it must be dangerous enough, Guti, the opposition will struggle to deal with it. You see it in the goal that we scored, defender, and then Kwinika from a back post heads the ball, and then it was difficult for the keeper to deal with the ball because he wasn't expecting it to come at that angle. People can say whatever they want to say about Uguti. Maybe could have done better. Yes, it could have done better, but also it was the quality of the ball that beat all the defenders in such a way that Kwinika was found free with back post. Secondly, the ball that he actually played that ended up being a goal when Dupree scored the second goal. It's also another kind of a ball. It's a dangerous ball that bypasses all the defenders Maritzburg United, and we end up scoring a goal. First half, we got into the same places where Mashiane was, but we were not able to deliver the same kind of balls that Mashiane did today. So I'm just going to put this out there and ask you, Guti, what do you think and what did you think about the performance of Mashiane overall? We can attend other things about him, but when it comes to creating and making the right passes into the ball, I thought he did really well. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. My name is Bilo. I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs, Amakosi Football Club. And we are reacting to the win here, Kaizer Chiefs against Maritzburg United, which started with the Chiefs pressing and really pressing and showing Guti they were serious in what we're doing. We wanted to press, which is something that I always talk about, Guti. The difference between Chiefs winning and losing matches is just sometimes whether the players choose to show up. And they did show up. And I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, but I was impressed by how we started the game. For the first 30 minutes or so, Maritzburg had no sniff of the ball. And that is why Graham got that first yellow card. We were putting them under pressure. And at the point where he got the second yellow card, it was still that thing, Yoguti. Now they are having to defend from a corner. And that's how we Chiefs did set up Uguti. When they got corners, then would leave Usehota up front, Dupree up front, and then they would have to deal with the Peiskaga Dupree. Same thing that happened, Uguti. They were busy trying to deal with the Peiskaga Dupree, and then Umtu comes running through the middle, and then things happen. We'll talk about the goal in a minute. But what I saw today is that there was that movement again. There was a confidence. Even Ungezana as a man of the match, I think, as much as I think Mashiane made more difference in the game than Ungezana, I still think confidence overall ebadlalini bethu was really good, and I felt like it was like one of the factors that helped Chiefs to like have an upper hand. Yes, there's still a long way to go. I am not going to reject that, but I am going to know to confidence did help. And enye into ebengibona ukuthi ama runs to today were different. Like in the box, we were making runs into the box and we're not attacking the same near post or far post, or ukuthi everyone is in the 18 area around the penalty spot, but we were making abanye, they will pull back and then they would be waiting for my cutbacks, which at times we didn't play. But to see ukuthi those movements are happening off the ball, it's good, because you know Guti, now if we are positioning ourselves in the right way, then the next step is to get the ball into those positions. Because before Begngeko, my movements that are correct in the right places. But now we're seeing more and more of those movements in right areas. We just need to get the ball into those areas. The other thing is that after we had played that well, 36 minutes, then Maritzburg United gets that good chance, and there was a good save by Brendan Peterson, which just tells you, Uguti, we need to start killing games much earlier, because this thing of dominating a game and then the other team gets one chance and then they kill you is going to kill us if we're not careful. So Chiefs should just be careful. Our players should be careful of that. Moving on is 38 minutes. It's a counter again that we had seen. I have touched on it. Dupree stays wide, and then we get the ball. Whoever gets the ball is looking for Dupree. It's a good strategy, playing on a transition. Some people are always critical. Ningadlali on a transition. Dlala on a transition. It's part of football. Con off the ball, con on the ball, con a transition. And manje, if we can use it, let's use it. And today it got us a red card, but it got us an advantage over Maritzburg United. But it made me scared, because I was like, oh no, a red card. Now there's going to be more pressure. To their credit, for the remainder of the first half, they actually played pretty okay. Bebengagabi affected by Uguti. Okay, this team is playing one man down. But second half, around the 65th minute, then that's where they started to panic. They're panicking now, trying to rush into, and you could see with all these players are now panicking. They're now trying to get a goal because they know Uguti, anything can happen. And it's a cup competition. They could come and score a goal, and then now you're in trouble. Everyone is asking, why did you not kill the game? So now the players started panicking, which was another problem. Another good thing is that our shots A2 were on target today. There was that shot by Dupree on the 46th minute, and then Ndlovu made a good save. And it wasn't one save. It was like a few saves that he made today that were really good. But it was good to see Dupree. They might be practicing shooting in Naturena. So it's always good. Lento yokuthi is shy baller like we're playing rugby. And they did do it, by the way, later on in the game when they were panicking. Abonange, everyone is starting to take shots on target, even Abongezana. But overall, for the most part, I'm choosing to take the positive things. And then the sad things that Umtu goes out. And when Umtu went out, it was like it kind of killed the game. Second half, the absence of Umtu affected the Chiefs a lot, because as much as Utuba is good talent, he's more of a center forward or a striker really than a number 10. So it was more difficult to see him making those runs that Umtu was making, because Umtu was popping up everywhere, collecting the ball, passing the ball, spreading the ball, making the runs. But Utuba was just, he disappeared, and I felt bad for him, because then the confidence yomfana manje izoncipha kanti he wanted to come in and impress. So he came under very unfavorable conditions, and I do feel like Uzwane made a mistake in this. So who's this? Umtu gets injured, and when Umtu gets injured, instead of bringing on Utuba and then pushing Usail to the right and then playing Utoli as a 10, which is a position that he plays better. Because yes, Angiti was keeping Utoli. So if you're going to keep Utoli, keep him in a position that he's better at. I feel like if he had moved Utoli centrally, then Utuba would have focused on making runs in behind, runs that were going to cause chaos for defenders. And that was also going to allow Sahil to be dribbling people and taking on people, because in the first half that was doing Usail. He had more freedom to move to the right because we were overloading that side. And secondly, because Umtu would make the runs into the vacated center forward positions that Usail would vacate. And then Usail will go get the ball and then dribble past people. But second half, it was like they were staying in the box. If it was an instruction from Uzwan, it was a mistake. If Kuguti introduction of Kick and Richie on that left side, because we're overloading it, so they tried to maybe shut us up on that side by introducing Richie, and then there was a cross. So now they had sort of a 5 at the back to kind of counter our threat out wide. So I do think Uguti, that change and what followed after that wasn't really a good idea, because it did not help Chiefs. It was just kind of quiet, and Usail not Duba were nowhere to be seen second half, because now it was like, where are they? Because Maritzburg were now so disciplined in stopping everything that was going on to that side. And the next one is KG comes on for Udolo on the 63rd minute. I will say this on a positive note, Udolo was taken out early, Zwane making changes early. A change early, because I think at that point we could have gotten away with making another change. Like, we should have changed someone at that point. Umart should have been taken out at that point. Ustebe was playing that defensive role, so take out Umart early as well, because he at that point it was clear that it wasn't working. And what happens is Sekgotha comes in, and then Dupri switches to the right. I didn't get that, because what you are essentially saying is that if you are playing Sekgotha left and then Ashley on the right, then those are crosses. It's not cutting in. And if it's not cutting in, you are telling me that you are going back to the system that didn't work for us against ETS Galaxy, because we're trying all those crosses into the box and they were not working. If you want to play balls into the box, it's how we're doing it on the left when Mashiane came in, because the winger ideally should be cutting into their strong foot, like Sekgotha play on the right and then cut in and then play the ball for an overlapping fullback, who then plays the cutback to the box, because now our wingers are now in the box or at the edge of the box. Now the defenders are forced to come out and pick these wingers who are inverted, and then there's this space that is opened in all that chaos for our midfielders who are running into the box, for the forward, for another fullback who's overlapping from that side to make more players into the box. And if a winger gets the ball and he runs wide, he's playing across, it's predictable value. Just keep him wide. And if he's cutting in, then now you're trying to stay with him, but then there's someone else who's overlapping. Someone from the defense has to go out and mark that person. It makes it much more difficult if wingers are cutting in. That is why you see big teams, Europe, they are always playing the players cutting in, because that gives more options, more attacking options than just a person who overlap and tries to go down the line and plays across. Because when a winger is cutting in, then it opens a channel for a fullback to run, and that's what Mashiane was doing when he came on, and it was much better than what was happening when Hlant was in. And I just looked at our bench. I'm like, oh my God, who's actually going to come on? Who is actually going to come on now? I saw good. I'm gonna hope Chiefs need serious signings, because yes, bench and but what have they really done creatively going forward to say, oh, they have made them a pass that are amazing and stuff like that? If you are winning, maybe you bring in Uzwane, because we control the ball. But really, you need a win. You need those defensive splitting passes, which Umatlo did once in the season. But otherwise, there's nothing. Because Onange, they are just like players who are coming into the team who are not really going to add creativity. They are just going to add uber solid in the midfield, and you don't have enough creative players in our bench. So I just looked and said, eh. And then UKG, there was a miss, because before that there was on the 69th minute where Ukweneka was marking a person, then he stops, he raises his hand, and then the keeper saved him. But I'm like, why would you stop? It's the 69th minute, these guys score. Get a yellow card if you can, because they score on the 69th minute. All of a sudden they're defending Abasayege Pambil, because at that point it was better because they were trying to attack us. But if they score at that point, they're going to sit deep, and Ukweneka is raising his hand. But in Zomiega for now, I get 70, that's why we're panicking. Onange taking shots and yada yada yada. 75th minute, Zwane Mart goes out, and then who came on for him? It was Unange. Ukweneka goes out, and then who came on for him? I don't see who this is. Mashiane, yes, Mashiane came on for Ukweneka, and then Ungezana Velo was centrally, at that time. Wait, no, it wasn't Ukweneka. Ukweneka stayed. Oh, I'm saying this was a note that was saying Ukweneka should have gone out for maybe a Matlo and then Mart go out for Izwane at that point, because it was going to give us ukuthi Uzwane noma engekho lokho ukuthi creative defensive splitting passes, but at the very least fresh legs, something different. Matlo unai, something different, because we don't need 4 defenders if you are playing a game that is against a team shota. You need players who are more creative, who are going to break the lines that are so compact and well organized in Maritzburg United at that time. And then 79th minute, Ungezana, I don't know what that was. He just hits it over the bar. I was like, oh, Siyabonga, what are you doing? And then Nange comes on for Matt, then Mashiane comes on for Hlant. Again, in the Bagashlant, I think it only happened because he had something with his chest, because someone poked, whatever happened with him. So I was like, another forced change, but Mashiane comes on and he performs. And the confidence, guys, has been knocked so much. There was a chance that he got where he could have just literally headed the ball and forced the keeper into a save. Worst case scenario, like I could be safe from the keep. But best case scenario, you score. So he tried to pass the ball. If you're enjoying this video, by the way, please do like the video. So it's either he failed to score or it's because of a lack of confidence that he ended up doing whatever that was. So ish kunzim. And then once again, I saw Ukweneka was taken to right back position because we needed a pace Ungezana centrally, because they were trying to play a counter, and Ungezana is better with that because we pace centrally. So once again, he did his job as a right back, Ungezana, and also when he was asked to play as a center back. And Ukweneka was advancing in that position, so I won't say that much, and there was nothing much bad that he did, except Uguti he did create the goal because he forced a save from the keeper, which I think hit the post. But regardless, there was the effort Ukweneka, because to even create a chance, they say you don't win a lotto if you don't buy the card or even play. So I will give him credit for that, for trying until the end. So shout out to him. Another person that I wanted to shout out to is Uguti. Nange did have a solid game, you know. It wasn't like all that bad. It was okay. So shout out to him. If someone does something, I will give a shout out. And then finally, we get a goal, which was much better crossing. I've covered this earlier on in the video. So the crosses Mashiane, I think they helped Chiefs a lot today. I still do feel like Uguti, we must have a better system of breaking down teams in general. Whether they have 10 men or they have 11 men. We must just have a better system for that. But for today, Mina guys, I will just take the positives. Let me know what you thought of the game down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. And until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.